Hey friends, welcome back to my channel for this week's What's for Dinner video. In this video, I'm sharing 3 delicious meals that our family has had this past week. I hope you guys enjoy it and that it gives you some new meal inspiration. If you do enjoy it, then go ahead and give that video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, I would absolutely love to have you subscribe and stick around to be part of our YouTube family. But let's get on into the yummy meals. Tonight we're going to be making some homemade Crunchwrap Supremes, and sorry for my voice, we've got some sinus stuff going on. I've got these large tortilla shells, some ground beef, lettuce, sour cream, cheese, the tostada shells as well, some nacho cheese, and then some taco seasoning. Obviously it would normally have tomatoes, but I don't like tomatoes, so I didn't get any of those. So first thing we're going to do is just cook up the meat and then we'll go from there. Travis is cooking up the meat. It was like a 2.25 pound package of it, I believe. And we're going to just go ahead and cook all of it with some taco seasoning. And I'm going to try something new and freeze some of it for easier meals or for crock-pot meals, just to make things a little bit simpler. And I also have some of this nacho cheese heating up on the stove as well. So we've got the meat done. Now to make our actual crunch wrap, I've got the nacho cheese. I'm gonna start with that with a thin layer in the center of this giant sized tortilla. Just spread that around. And then next I'll do the ground beef. Then the tostada, sour cream, lettuce, and then I'm gonna use salsa in place of tomatoes, and then some shredded cheese on top. Attempt to close this whole thing up and then stick it in a pan and just cook on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes on medium heat. How awesome is that? I think it turned out pretty good. Ours did have a hole in it, but it didn't fall apart, so that's a win. We were gonna have some rice on the side, but we just don't feel good enough to be doing that. I am gonna cut this open though to show you guys what it looks like on the inside, because I am excited to see it too. Oh my goodness, that looks yummy. So this is what we're having for supper tonight. So tonight we're making a tater tot casserole or a cowboy casserole, whatever you want to call it. And I'm pretty sure that I sound worse than I did last night. So I apologize that you have to hear me like this. But for this, I'm using some of that meat that we had cooked up yesterday. It's supposed to be half a pound for this. Not sure if that's going to cut it, but we're going to do with what we got. We've got some tater tots, cheddar cheese. I am going to add in some peppers and onions that I just had frozen in the freezer, some milk, and it's supposed to be cream of mushroom, but I'm going to use cream of celery. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. Got some sour cream, corn, onion powder, and black pepper. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've already got the oven preheating to 375. I'm going to start these in the pan just to cook up a little bit before adding in all the rest of our ingredients, since our ground beef is already cooked. Now that my peppers and onions are getting pretty soft, I'm going to go ahead and add that ground beef in. And I did forget to mention that I'm halving the recipe, so I'm not using a 9x13 casserole dish. I'm using the half size of that. So let's go ahead and add in the ground beef. Just let that heat up a little bit. I've got about 1/4 cup of milk that I'm going to add in. Half the can of corn. Or a little more, because I get excited. Half the can of cream of celery, 1/4 cup of shredded cheese, and then a bit less than 1/4 cup of sour cream. Stir it all up. Gonna do some onion powder and black pepper to taste. Now I'm going to pour it down into my pan, top it with some cheese, then the tater tots, and cook it on 375 for about 40 to 45 minutes. Tonight we're going to be making some lemon parmesan baked chicken and then some roasted potatoes and probably green beans too. So I've got my chicken breasts, they're sitting in a bowl because it leaked out in the refrigerator and that is disgusting. So I think I've got 3 whole chicken breasts here, but I like to cut them in half just to make them thinner. Then I got a bag of baby roasted potatoes that I'm going to cut up and season with this wood-fired garlic seasoning, some salt and pepper for the chicken, some lemon juice, egg, minced garlic, breadcrumbs, and some Parmesan cheese. So in this bowl here, I'm gonna go ahead and crack my egg and just make up this mixture to dip the chicken in. I've got half of a lemon, I'm gonna squeeze that out. I do have the oven preheating to 400, by the way. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And then some salt and pepper to taste. Whisk that all together. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my chicken in the bowl, get that all nice and coated, and just sit that to the side while I work on the other stuff. So now I've got another dish out. I'm using a pie pan just because it's shallow and skinny for dipping the chicken in. I'm gonna mix together 1/3 a cup of Parmesan cheese with half a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm gonna take my chicken and then coat both sides in this mixture and place it on my baking pan. I just got these baking pans on Amazon Prime Day on the 13th and got them the next night. So I got these last night and I'm so excited. I got a 2-pack of them because my baking pans were looking pretty rough. Now for the potatoes, I've already washed them all, so I'm just going to chop them up into bite-sized pieces. So once I get all these chopped up, I'll probably add in a bowl all the potatoes with half a teaspoon of 2 tablespoons of melted butter and half a teaspoon of this seasoning together and toss those around and add them to our sheet pan. Pop this in the oven on 400 for 15 minutes, and then we'll take it out and flip our chicken. So really quick, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some of these green beans and stick them in the oven. I'd seen this recipe going around, and I think it originated from Large Family Love, and she had a link to the recipe, so I went and looked at it, and this recipe is actually for 5 cans of these green beans, and that was a ton. I'm only using one 28-ounce can. 5 cans would feed us for like a month. So I've got a can of those, and I'm just gonna kind of wing it since I don't really have the exact measurements. I've got like 2.5 tablespoons of butter, a little less than a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. You can either cook up bacon yourself or use the ready bacon like I did, and I'm just gonna crumble that with my hands when I get the green beans in the pan, and some garlic powder and soy sauce. So I'm gonna dump these into my pan. Then I've got my butter here, and I'm gonna add the brown sugar, a little bit of soy sauce. I really don't know how much to add, so that's all I'm gonna do. And then some garlic powder. Whisk that together. Pour that all over the green beans. Roll it around a little bit. Then I'm going to take some of this bacon and crumble it on top. I'm really excited to try these because so many people said that they loved them. I think I also saw these on the Simply Enjoying Life channel, and they just looked really good, so I'm gonna try them out. So I'm gonna stick them in the oven. My oven's preheated to 400. The recipe that I'm following says 350, but since my chicken and everything's cooking on 400, I think it'll be fine. They just hopefully will be done a little quicker. We'll just see. I went ahead and flipped the chicken. I'm gonna stick it back in the oven for another like probably 5 minutes, and then turn it to broil and cook it for an additional 5 minutes or until it's like to the color of my liking. I actually turned it to a custom broil for medium-high heat at 375, so I'm gonna finish cooking it on that. Here is how it came out. I think the chicken turned out perfectly, and then the green beans probably, I mean, I don't think I had them in there the full time that it was supposed to, but I mean, they seem done. I don't know if it changes the flavor or anything leaving it in there longer. And then I added a lemon slice just to make it look cute, but honestly, it just looks out of place because I am not fancy. But this is what we're having for supper tonight. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to hear in the comments down below what your favorite meal is that you guys cooked this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.